Greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault episode. Your free government trust, episode 728. Really want to thank everybody for tuning live, listening to replay. Wanted to talk about on this particular episode what it is. Your free government trust. A lot of people reach out to us, say they have private trust, say they want to be in trusteeship, and so we do episodes catered towards people that say they're trustees. Well, okay, here we go. We're gonna talk about this the way we talked about this with a trustee earlier today, which is you're either a minor or a majority. They didn't know the difference, so we encouraged them to get a Black's Law dictionary. It's important to have a Black's Law dictionary so you can understand the language that you're listening to. When you say, oh yeah, I know contracts, I'm reading contracts, I'm aware of contracts, all this different stuff. But at the end of the day, the focus is to know that you're a trustee or not a trustee. But everybody says, oh yeah, I want to own this or I want to control that. But what position are you in? Are you acting as the best trustee that you could be? Do you even know what a trustee is? Are you aware what a trustee is? Or are you acting like a beneficiary? So many think by default they're beneficiaries of the government trust, the free one. So we're going to talk about it today the way we talked about it with a trustee, which is you're either a minor or you're a majority. Once you're clear on you're either a minor or a majority, once you have your legal dictionary, you can know, okay, I'm a majority. I'm aware of what's going on. Okay, great. Are you acting in what capacity are you acting in when it comes to your contracts? Everybody want to talk about own and control everything, but how are you signing documents? Oh man, well, when I'm not doing trustee stuff, I don't sign with the restricted signature. I don't sign with my signature made it in a position where, it's UCC 1-308. I'm not reserving all my rights, even though I say I want to do a trademark or a copyright on anything. You want to do a trademark or copyright on anything, but you're not focused on making sure you sign with a restricted signature. And first of all, a trademark and a copyright is a separate entity, correct? It's not you. Then you say you created a trademark. Then you say you created a copyright. Right. Well, if that's the case, it looks like you're going to know what capacity you're in. So when you're filling out the form, it asks you, who are you? But oh no, Trust Christian, it's always going to be me in commerce. First of all, you're never in commerce. You're never in commerce. A majority would know that. A minor, they think they got to serve as the surety for the debt. Y'all heard me? They think they got to serve as the surety for the debt. They think they are the debtor. They don't know that they're the creditor. So when people come to us for all these years, oh, Trust Christian, there is no money. And the money is this and the money is that. It's a negotiable instrument. Okay, but are you a majority? Are you acting in the capacity of majority? The system is here for you to act as either majority or minority. Is it going to be something that everybody's going to do it at the same time? No. Everybody don't learn how to ride a bikes. Everybody don't know how to swim all at the same time. So some people find the information at different times. So we wanted to do the episode to go over the people that are in the middle. The ones of y'all that think, oh man, Trust Christian, I'm in the public. I don't really know how to operate in the private. But I'm looking to be in the private for the rest of my life. I'm looking to be private. First of all, how you going to go into the private? You think you're going to go into the private with destruction and mayhem? Where you don't have your life in order? Where you're not in the right mindset for trusteeship? You thinking you owe somebody. You thinking you in a position where I got to serve as a PG on everything, Trust Christian? When you going to do business instead of it being personal? Well, that's why the government gave people their free trust. Your free government trust, your free gov trust, it came because people are minors. What What do you need? How you going? First of all, did your family open up a business instrument for you? No. Well, the government got one waiting for you. That's how it works. The government got one waiting for you. Yep. Why? Because they want you to be a citizen. Yep. They want you to be. Y'all go on the debt clock. It say citizens owe a debt. How the government go? How the citizen go owe the government a debt? The government's supposed to be the people. Oh, they over levered. Well, wouldn't it be wise? Just a noble thought that they would just say, well, Gov, we need y'all to restructure. We need you to reorganize because you guys are over levering. And not only that, they're continuing to lever. Oh no, this isn't a thing to do. This isn't a real thing. Y'all talking about it. It's a y'all talking about it. The people talk about it. Oh man, the government's over levered trillions of dollars. Okay. Government got a free trust for you. For sure. Government's got a free trust. This is the Social Security. Oh man, Trust Christian. So I don't want to do this anymore. That's what they say. I don't want to do this anymore. Okay. You going into private trusteeship. You going into trustee mindset. See, this is the deal. Oh man, Trust Christian. How did you learn it? It can't be this. It can't be this hard. You're making it sound so easy. First of all, we're around. We got trained in this information by private families. We always make this very clear. Then you go into, once you get the information, you have to get in wealthy environments where the information is truly being practiced. Oh, not some, oh man, Trust Christian, man, I'm gonna get the information and I'm gonna be somebody living in the middle, living in a bad situation, or living in these places that don't have wealth. Let's just real talk. I'm not here. How you gonna have the information? You're not in the country club. And say, hey, Trust Christian, um, I'm a part. I got the private information. I'm utilizing the information, but I'm not going to the private wealthy clubs. I haven't been to a foundation gala yet, right? So you got to get to those things, cause that's the private. That's the non-government. Gov might be in those rooms, but those are private foundations that are upholding your local schools, that are upholding your local areas, that things are getting done, public environments. That's why you see art museums, music theaters. This is why you see various different things. The arts, those things are funded by private foundations. But the Gov gave you the free foundation. They gave you an all-in-one package. That's why it's taxed so high, because it could do so many things. Think about it. If you go into if the Social Security number goes into if it goes into a charitable status, meaning that, oh yeah, this entity is going to be doing charity, they give it tax exemption, right? Right. Then if it goes into a for-profit state, it gets taxable, right? Now, on the public side, if you go get a charity, it's always going to be a charity. If you go get a for-profit entity, a corporation, it's going to be that. Oh, we got rid of the smoke and confusion. Correct. Because at the end of the day, people don't want to hear you got a free government trust. So you can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Oh man, now if you want to act like it's a trust, go ahead. But most people aren't acting in the capacity of a trustee, so how would they be able to maneuver the right way? And if you're maneuvering the right way, you find out real quick, oh wow, this isn't a trust, quote unquote, even though it's purported as that, it's utilized as that, it's got a whole trust system behind it. Why? Who's the benefit? Who's the trustee? Are you the trustee? Is the Gov acting by default as the trustee? Who's the grantor? Oh man, my parents, right? They signed you over. They created the Cesta K Trust. They created this. Why would the Gov not talk about this? Why would they talk about this? It allows them to create debt indentures. Debentures. Oh man. Oh man, when I'm born, Trust Christian, when people are born, the government issues debt. Duh. Was that bad? Did your family pull up with money and gold and say, hey, we're going to put this into the system? Or where that see how that works? They didn't. So the government created a welfare system. The government, whether you want to call it whatever you want to call it, there is a system. Y'all know what the system is. It's the Social Security Administration system. That is a system that has what's considered a trust. And if it's considered a trust, what position are you in? Are you the beneficiary or are you the trustee? It's that simple. But it looks really, simple. To be very honest with you all. And at the end of the day, it just comes down to, are you acting in the right capacity? Are you going to act in the right capacity, ladies and gentlemen? And the free government trust, hey, if y'all want to keep using it, go ahead. But the ones of y'all that don't want to use it, we going to go ahead and tell y'all, like the way it was told, Trust Christian, you got to go all in. And there's no doubt about it. You got to go all in. You got to say, oh, what does that look like? It looks like, once again, family has some type of private family estate set up, and at that point, you're maneuvering from that position. And at the end of the day, it's not moving as an employee. Put it like this: if you're an employee, this is what people don't want to hear. If you're an employee on the public side, the family estate essentially would just be paying the bills of you, and you be going out there and you be filing taxes as an individual. That's literally how it looks, because the family estate, they almost might not even pay for things at times. If you go get a social security number and try to attach it to the trust, that's what they're going to tell you. So you think about that. If you're not going to attach anything to the private, then once again, the public should stay public, private should stay private. And once again, the private family, they would go out and they would start doing business privately. They would focus on skills, talents, and abilities. They would build from within. It may sound harder than it looks, but it's actually easier said than done. And that's the way what it's supposed to be, because it's a lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. See, what happens is people don't really have the skill set to come over here into the private. They want to talk all this yippity yap. Oh, Trust Christian, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, I'm going private, I'm going this. Yeah, right. How you gonna go private and you don't have people skills? Let's go there. Oh man, Trust Christian, I don't like people. How you gonna go to the private? You gotta get out your comfort. First of all, if you were already wealthy, you wouldn't be asking these questions. They ask these questions because they know, man, I don't know what it takes. Right. Now, some of y'all got people skills. Some of y'all know how to talk to people, so it's gonna make it easier. And this is what we were trained in, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not like Trust Christian sitting here bragging and talking just to run his mouth. Like, first of all, that's why we do talk on the podcast, because we understand wealthy people actually have conversations. You might think, oh yeah, I don't talk to my poor friends about money. Yeah, of course you don't talk to your poor friends about money. But when you're in wealthy circles, you don't even want to know how many conversations we have about money. And some people are uncomfortable with talking about money. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. That's not an uncomfortable topic in a wealthy environment. Now, is it about bragging? No. But is it about opportunities more so than the dollars? Yes. Talking about opportunities. So, oh man, the skill set. What skill set do you need from the government trust when you can get disability? Think about all these things you can get from the government, don't have to do nothing. Where you think the money's coming from? They got a system. It's a system of that utilizes debt. And once people really realize that, then they'll say, okay, you gotta know what debt is. How you gonna know it? How you gonna know how to operate in a debt society when you don't know what debt is? It's like a mystery. Oh man, I don't have a financial education, and debt is not good. Why? Because you got all personal debt. You don't know what it's like to have business debt. If you did, then business debt is actually very passe. It's just something to have. Why? Because if you're building a business on the public side, you don't have a family estate that's really backing you, or a family estate that has substantial wealth. How are you going to operate in the public? You're operating in debt. That's why people go get houses, so they can get a mortgage, so they can operate in debt. Because if they could afford the house, they would just pay for the house. But instead, they get a mortgage. Why? Because it allows them to have the house faster. Because there's the cost that they normally would have had to pay, they don't have to pay. So I know how to use debt for personal reasons, Trust Christian. I know how to qualify to get a house. Well, do you know how to qualify to build a business? No. See, That's what your free government trust has done to people. It just told them, hey, if you show up, something's going to be prepared for you. No, no, no. Some people, there are people in the world that understand they can build with sticks. And then you get cement. And then you get other things later on. But in the beginning, you can build. So how does that look? You're a trustee. You stepped in the trusteeship role. Think about how it's so hard for people to step in trustee role. It's like, man, y'all don't even want to understand. We sit in a room with the wealthy families, additional other wealthy families. A lot of people just don't have the guts. That's all it is. It's not an unbearable weight, but it's a weight to be a trustee. Definitely is. Not because the role is so uh it's not that it's hard. It's not even that being a trustee is hard. You think about it. The government, they'll go in, do shambles of ideas. Next thing you know, supposedly they will waste money. Think about it. These are supposed to be an intelligent individual, and they waste the money. Now you say, oh man, trust Christian, I waste money too. Okay, well if that's the case, now you can see that they're no smarter than you. So it shouldn't be a question of, okay, let's get this in order. Let's make this get in order. Now, some people say, oh, Judge Christian, are you talking bad about the government and this, that, and the third? First of all, we're not. What they say? God bless America. That's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't oh man, we want the place to go down the tubes. No, what you want is you want more educated people in a society. Now that's coming from Trust Christian perspective. Whether y'all know it or not, we sit in a room with other wealthy people, and it's not that they don't want you to have it. Now maybe they could tell us that we will start interviewing, asking, but we don't even answer silly question like, "Oh man, do you want other people to know?" Not really. It's just one of those things where it definitely is a lot of insider unknowns, like things that you don't know that they thinking or saying in their head, and it's like, well, you just got to build a relationship, ladies and gentlemen. They're humans just like you, and it's sad that people think that, oh man, this person has hundreds of $1 million and they're not cool, or somebody that's like third generation, they're not cool, or somebody that sold a company to a private equity firm for $50 million or $75 million or $175 million. Oh man, they're not cool, and it's like, well, if they're telling you, hey, I come from the middle of nowhere, and I got, maybe they did get a degree, maybe they didn't, and they just built businesses and they found some of the right relationships, and you can see that it's a claw to the top, baby. Some people say, oh man, Trust Christian, what do you mean it's a claw to the top? Like, you're making it a point to get in the room just to be in the room. You don't have to be in the room. There's so many that say, oh, I just want to deal in privacy. Yeah, but it's not going to be sustainable because private families, they intermarry, they do business together. So it's not a question of, oh man, well, how am I going to do something on the private side at a big scale? Well, if you're not doing it in the public, you're going to do it with other private families because that's how the system operates. It's operated out working with other people. Your government trust, the free one. Your free government trust. People want to come into the private, and they don't know about the debt or the Federal Reserve notes. And in turn, how are you going to be successful? You got to utilize the system. Every jurisdiction has a system. Every jurisdiction. So many people say, oh man, the system is rigged, man, and this, that, and the third. Man, think about it. Here we go. If the system is rigged, it's rigged for a certain group of people. It's not rigged for the ones that are outside of it, that are majority, that understand what the minority is doing wrong. If you say, oh, I know that this is that, I know, Judge Christian, that, this is how the system is set up, I know how it's set up. Are you utilizing the system, or is the system utilizing you for fodder for the next generation or the previous generation? Well, we could sit here and make this episode
till the chickens come home. And at the end of the day, a lie go and talk, because that's what they used to. Oh, Trust Christian, you ain't showing your face on the podcast in years, you know. You don't really be showing your face. We then when we show our face, we bring somebody like an Olympic athlete and a lawyer that we have a straight, candid conversation. Third generation trustee, come on, and people start. Oh man, I don't. It's just right. Yeah, here we go. Y'all want to hear a lame story? Because there's always going to be plus stories. But we're going to share with y'all the downside if you don't act. See, y'all don't want to hear the downside if you don't act. That's what Trust Christian heard. You don't want to hear the downside if you don't act. Everybody wants to hear, oh yeah, well, I'm going to get into the private and I'm going to I'm going to get a house. I don't have to deal with a mortgage. What they be doing? Adverse possessions, they doing all this stuff. Okay. And how you gonna get a car? You gotta get a debt most of the time. Oh yeah, well, Trust Christian, I can do it privately. Hey, half of y'all, not even 90, or like 90% are like, hey, we're gonna use gold or silver as a medium of exchange. They're not talking like that to Trust Christian Info. Most people aren't talking like that when they talking about transactions. They're not talking about gold and silver and no diamonds and pearls. They're not talking that. They're not talking asset value. They just talking, they're not talking that. That's on the public side we're talking about. It's really simple. You gotta be in the position of being a trustee. Everybody say, oh, they want to own nothing, control everything. Trust Christian, it be sounding so cool. Hey, hey, rah, rah. Downside story. Here we go. We gotta get back to the story. So, here we go. What happens when you finally meet, whether it's one person or multiple people, that have millions and millions and millions of dollars? Lots of it, personally, quote unquote. And your $100,000 idea, your $500,000 idea, y'all don't even want to know. It's funny. Trust Christian, we be on the line with people that say, Trust Christian, if you don't have a $5 million idea where we can put money, don't come back to us. We got people that recently came on the line and said, Trust Christian, if you don't have a $10 million idea, don't come back to us. And you don't want to hear, is it said like that? Not always exactly, but at the end of the day, it's still stated that if you don't have something worth $10 million to show us, don't come back to us. What's wrong with that? Oh man, Trust Christian, I ain't never thought about it like that. Exactly. Most people haven't. When you get to them rooms, that's when you know you're doing something right. But how you think Trust Christian is getting in the room? Because he's staying persistent, staying consistent, making it a point to be around other wealthy families. That's what you gotta do. You gotta get around those wealthy families. You can't take time to do other things that are non-wealthy activities. Trust Christian's not doing no poverty-based activities. We're not going bowling right now on the weekends. It might sound hard to hear. Oh man, Trust Christian, you ain't going to the kid's birthday party and your family birthday party, and you ain't going bowling on the weekends with the ladies? No. Y'all talking about first generation wealth. What is your number? What is your number to say, oh, this is first generation wealth? So, oh, Trust Christian, you gonna sacrifice this, you gonna take away from time from everything else, just this, that, and the third. That's the difference. Because wealthy families were willing to make that sacrifice to sit in the rooms, and we understand that one generation can make a difference. But some of y'all living with curses. Y'all don't even want to hear that though. Oh, Trust Christian, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Trust Christian, what you talking about, man? Come on, man. We ain't got no curses on us. I ain't got no curse on me. Yeah, right. You be saying it to yourself every day. That's why you sitting in an hour worth of traffic every day. That's why you actually waging for other people. Y'all don't want to hear that. Oh man, Trust Christian, you talking smack. First of all, it's a commitment. It's a commitment to your dreams, to your goals. You say, oh, I want to break the chains. I'm going to change the generational curse, whatever it is. Okay, how you going to do that working a job? Y'all got to study the success leaves clue method. The mentor says success leaves clues. This is some Blues Clues stuff. Y'all making it seem like getting wealthy is a mystery. Y'all see these kids on the internet making money through the internet. So it's like, oh man, people be like, oh man, I don't want to get on the internet. Well, then clearly you're not gonna make money through the internet. Then you're not gonna make the overnight money, that viral money. It ain't hard. So then most people say, "Oh man, this is real business status now. I gotta hop into the real business status now." Exactly. But what capacity are you doing business? Are you doing business as a trustee? Are you doing things as the beneficial owner? Are you doing things as a member, as a manager? How you doing things? See, Trust Christian go ahead and tell y'all. This game is for the intelligent ones. For the ones of y'all that's going to try to play dumb when it's time to step up and sign a debt note for your dreams. Huh. I wouldn't sell my soul for my dreams. How you going to get an excess amount before you deserve it or you have it if you don't have debt? The debt is the leveraging tool. You're actually supposed to pay the debt back. So no one's sitting here saying that, oh yeah, you shouldn't get a debt or you should get a debt. What we are saying is the repayment ability is important. Because when you do pay it back, you hold credibility. That's how you stay a creditor. Because you can credit a debt. But the free government trust mentality, hey, y'all don't even want to know. On the public side, the free government trust mentality says you just bankrupted. That's where the United States is at right now. It's like, oh man, Trust Christian, they in a bankruptcy? How they not in a bankruptcy? They got trillions of dollars on the books in debt. I mean, after you think a million or something, you be like, all right, man, they got to slow down. They went past the billion. They showed us in a lifetime the B's were small. The B's were very small. And then they went to the T's. And now they're in the T's. And you would think that this is almost like it's reversible, Trust Christian. If you like to believe that, if you like to think that, then keep thinking. We're going to move on to where we see that the trends are actually going in the opposite direction. And that's fair on the public side. Well, say, oh, Trust Christian, tell me what I gotta do. They say, tell me, Trust Christian, what I gotta do. I'm looking to be a trustee. I'm looking to be elite. That's what they don't want to hear. They gotta be elite. They don't want to know this. What does elite mean? Elite is a major status. It's like, for real. It's like, Trust Christian, I don't play golf. Man, what are you talking about? Y'all don't even want to know. If y'all only knew. If y'all say, okay, what's the number one sport for money? Like, everybody tries to talk about America, and they even talk about soccer. Oh man, soccer. This is they don't have 20,000 people. They have 100,000 people stadiums. They're paying their athletes 9 figures. Okay, look, we're just gonna go ahead and talk to y'all. The money is on golf courses. It's been on golf courses. So if you want to sit around and say, oh, Trust Christian, I'm not going to play golf. I'm not going to learn how to play this thing. But I know you know how to play every other poverty sport. The poverty sports that say, oh yeah, these are the sports that supposedly take people from out of first generation, out of poverty to first generation wealth. These are some sports. They actually are professions. So it's a profession, ladies and gentlemen. It's a profession like being a trustee. It's a profession. And in turn, as a professional, they get paid some real money. But at the end of the day, the number one sport is golf. The money plays golf, and the money looks at golf. Because they go to the golf courses. And some people can sit and say, oh man, Trust Christian, man, I don't care what you say, man. I don't care, and I'm not doing it. Then don't. But even for the ladies, this is the secret gem of the whole episode. For the ladies. For the ladies, you guys actually have statistically a greater success chance of going to the golf course and closing deals than men do. And that's crazy because who's at the golf course? Men. So how is it that women have a greater statistical opportunity to close on the golf course? Because they're new and they're different.
There's many reasons, women. Y'all know y'all got skills and talents and abilities, but at the end of the day, when we talk about how they getting the job done, when the women come out, it's like, hey, next thing you know, they doing deals on the golf course. That's just being bottom line. That's just being honest. And the guys, you gotta get a fight for a tea time, if you know what I mean. You gotta fight for a tea time. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep it very sexy, very proactive, very focused on the truth and the reality, which is, hey, some of y'all don't want to go to the golf course. Oh man, I live near a golf course. That's how you know you ain't in the right place. They, oh man, Trust Christian, I don't live near a golf course. Exactly, you don't live near a golf course. That's where the money's at. There at the country club. That's the reality of the situation. If you gonna fall, let it fall into a whole bunch of money. If you know what I mean. If you gonna fall into a bed of money, then don't. Oh man, Trust Christian, I'm gonna fall back to blah blah blah. All right. So then, once you have the information, you in the right environments. You got the communication skills. You gotta have the communication skills. You gotta have the giver mentality. Man, we're just thinking about a relationship that we know, and oh yeah, we're gonna tell you how to drop ball one of the trustees. Guess we got away from that. So here we go. The drop ball is if you get in front of some of these wealthy relationships and you don't take advantage of them. Oh man, Trust Christian. Think about it. So many people on the internet. Oh man, I took a picture with this celebrity. Yeah, but you didn't introduce yourself and as an equal. You introduced yourself as somebody that is a look up, or they're looking down. We don't want to say that, but why wouldn't you get the result of building a connection? The connection is the relationship. Is the connection a picture, or is the connection a relationship? See, they don't want to talk like that. Oh, Trust Christian, man, how you try to take pictures with the celebrities, man, because, that's kind of the way I do it, right. But when it comes to, like, meeting the right people, not to say they can just, like, change your life because they have that type of power. It's not that. It's these people are, they equals. They not above you. And the sooner you let that go, the sooner you'll be able to interact with them and see that, wow, friends do business with friends. That's what y'all don't want to hear at the lower levels. What they say in poor circles. Oh, don't do business with your friends and your family. Y'all don't even want to know. One of the individuals we think about right now, literally, they're third generation. And think about it. You don't get third generation if your family don't do business together. That's just bottom line. Their family does business together. Now, we got some wild topics to talk about in trusteeship because it could get wild. Y'all didn't want to know. Like, we're talking about, like, everybody wants to talk about what's called the making money and preserving money stuff. But the preserving money is a lot deeper for sure. The making the money, first generation wealth, second generation, if you want to call it that, usually you put it together in a one. The first gen, man, there's so many. It's not even a dark side. It's just like realities that most people aren't like prepared for to hear. They're just not. They're just not. 'Cause you think about it. You go into a wealthy environment, you'll start seeing so many family members. You'll be like, man, how many of y'all in here? That's your family? Oh yeah, that's my cousin. And we talking about other cultures. But hey, that's where the population is. Are you a majority understanding like, hey, I gotta make sure my communication skills are good, so I can. Hey, Trust Christian, we'll give y'all like some real time analysts of productivity hacks. So Trust Christian, you gotta know. First of all, you got Trust Christian has been trained into understanding certain things. So one of them is understanding like when you have peak energy flow. So once you understand when you have peak energy flow, you can know when your low moment's going to be or your lower moment's going to be for energy and things like that. So as you use the AI tools will enable you to optimize your rest, optimize your work, optimize your rest, optimize your work, and you see how you create a flow.
But a lot of people can't get into a flow because they haven't studied themselves enough. And that's where the AI and the technology comes in to help you study yourself almost relatively overnight. I mean, people don't want to know that even if the AI tools or the technology tools help you capture your body composition and various things in the past 2 weeks, and it may not have composed of what's been done over 30 years, it's still giving you a snapshot of where you are right now. So where you are right now is where you are, and you can optimize where you are right now by studying yourself. Studying, okay, when do I write letters best? When do I have the best energy for when I write letters and send responses? When do I do best working by myself? So you know, okay, it's not that you can't work by yourself. It's not that you don't like working by yourself. It's that, okay, I know that I work best by myself during this time of the day, and then anything else that I have to do where I have to talk to people and I don't have to talk and I have to actually talk to other people, then I'll do that at that time. And you block out those times, and you understand your flow, you understand your energy and things of that nature. So these are the things that we work with trustees on over at the vault, because trusteeship is truly energy regulation. 100%. Trusteeship is energy regulation. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. You are now tuned into the vault, Christian at trustchristian.com. If you want to email, get in contact with Trust Christian, get a consultation, Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.